Hey guys, got another knife here for you. I'm not a huge unboxing fan. I think I've done one or two so far out of the, I don't know, 5 videos that I have on knives. But I did want to do an unboxing quickly on this because this is pretty special. This is a knife I received from Jarosz of Jarosz Knives. And you can see he actually brands the box. I think Jim Skelton had talked on his channel about packaging and what different makers do. And obviously this is a custom knife. And it's pretty cool. I mean, all my other address information, his shipping stuff's on the other side, but I just thought I'd show you this. He stamps the brands the box that it comes shipped in. But let's get right to the knife, guys. So I actually opened this already, and I've taken the knife out, looked at it and everything, but barely gotten a chance to really play with it and see how I like it. So we'll check it out now. And here's everything that it comes with. So first off, this is some business cards. They're all, the same here, but pretty nice. Jarosz Knives, jarossknives.com, Jesse Jarosz, his number and email, and then where the workshop is and everything. So that's his contact information in case any of you guys want to reach him. However, I'm sorry to report that his books are pretty much closed from what I understand. They were closed from, I believe, October of last year until just this past weekend, where he opened them during the weekend of the Blade show, and you could get in at that point in time to get a custom from him. And if you did get in on his books, your earliest time of getting that knife will be 3 years from now. It's a 3 to 5 year wait list if you did get on his books. I luckily actually did get onto his books. I think I checked in with him. He opened it in the morning time, I think Thursday or Friday before Blade show. And I got in an email and got accepted onto his order list that day. So in 3 to 5 years, I'll be looking forward to get a custom from him that's exactly to whatever my specifications are, whatever he's doing at that time. The other thing that came with this package, and we'll get this foam out of here too, is he actually wrote a hand note to me on this knife. And what I'll do is I'll put the knife back here. And it just said, "Nick, thank you for your support and participation this Sunday. I really appreciate your involvement with Jarosz Knives. I can only hope that this knife brings you as much enjoyment as I have in making them for the people like you. If there is anything you ever need, please don't hesitate to call. I hope you enjoy your new knife. May it serve you well for a very, very long time. Sincerely, Jesse Jarosz." I mean, that's awesome. That's super cool. I mean, this was a knife. I'll give you a little story on it once we actually get it open here, but this was to get a note from the maker, handwritten, thanking me for purchasing a knife from him. That's pretty special, and that's definitely going to stay with the knife, or with the box and everything that I'll keep. And then as time goes on, just have that as a keepsake. So the knife comes here. It's this red bow, and here you go. I should have put it in the title, but this is what Jesse is calling the Fulltech model line. And what it is it's pretty much what he calls no BS knife, no nonsense. It's a full handmade custom. Everything on here is handmade, hand ground, hand done, hand cut out, hand contoured, everything. And so it's a fully handmade knife that he believes is put at a affordable price. That thing just snaps right in. But to give you the background on this, he made 5 of these in several different colors. This is the tan or coyote brown or whatever you want to call it, G10 scale. And then he also made 4 others. He made 2 in black G10, one that had a flamed clip, and one that had a regular titanium, just standard satin clip. And then he made a blue G10 one. And then he made a gray one. I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe the gray one was the very first one. And as you can see on here, if we can get this to focus. A lot of light on there. This is number 2 of 5. Yep, there we go. So this is the very second one ever made for this line. Now what he did was he has this thing on his site called Sale Sunday. I'm not sure how often he does, if it's once a month or once every quarter, but he does some kind of setup where it gives you a chance to get one of his knives without having to wait that 3 to 5 years for your custom. Now, I'm on his books to get my own personal custom knife. His models, or his most popular ones that he's known for, are the 75 and the 100 and then the Archon. I don't think the Archon's available anymore. The 75 is just 75% of the 100 model as far as size goes. But this thing is just slick. You know, it's what he calls the Fulltech line. It's, you know, obviously his play on what everyone calls the mid-techs. You know, these, look at that. You know, mid-tech where it's like, oh, it's mostly outsourced, and then it's, well, not mostly, but, you know, there's really good mid-techs, and then there's things that just meet the cusp of mid-tech where it's like the maker barely touched it, or, you know, was barely touched by hands, or just because it was hand touched, then they call it a mid-tech. But this is a full custom, fully hand done by him, and that's why he's calling it a Fulltech, kind of a play on that you can use every day. Now, maybe it's not as pretty as his other models or as detailed, but the materials are all high quality. The hand workmanship is all high quality, and you get to have a full custom by probably one of the biggest, you know, up-and-coming custom knife makers out there. As far as getting his name out there, he won the award last year for Best New Maker, and obviously you can tell because his books are booked out for 3 to 5 years that he's doing pretty well. So let me give you a few specs on this. This thing is razor sharp. One thing on this you can see, you know, with his name, he did that, I don't know what is lasered in or burnt in or something, and then he just etched in the 2 of 5. On his full, or not his full, but his, if you get on his books and get a custom, you'll actually see that design, that insignia that was on the box that I showed you. And this, obviously, he did the locking side of the blade in that awesome tanto finish. And the other cool thing is that this one, the brown one, was the only blade that he did in the tanto finish, which I think was really cool. Actually, when I got this, or when I texted him to get this on the lottery, or the first bid system, first entry system, he opened these up to get at 6 p.m. on Sunday, and whoever texted him or emailed him first got their choice of the 4 models. I said there was 5, but there's actually only 4 that were for sale on his Sunday sale. And so I got in. I was the first one in. He said, you have your choice, either black, blue, or brown. I picked the brown because I didn't have a brown G10 knife in my collection, so I thought that would be cool. But then after I actually chose it, I realized, oh my gosh, all the blades were different on these. He did different style blades on each one with different swedges. And this is, I mean, whoa, gotta watch out with this, but look at that swedge on there. I mean, how that just comes down and across. Super fine point on there. All the other ones were drop points, or, you know, kind of just rounded off curves and different swedges on here. But then I was like, so I got the brown one, the second one made, the first one he ever sold. So, I mean, I don't know what he did with the very first one. The gray unknown, whatever happened to that one. But he had 4 of these. One that went at 6, one that went at 6:30, one that went at 7, and one at 7:30 p.m. on that day to the first people that texted him at those exact times. So this one technically was the very first one sold, because I was the first one to get in on it. And then it's the second one ever made. But you can see that nice grind on there, swedge. And then, I mean, it's just smooth, you know. I mean, look at that. Just drops right in. I mean, that's awesome. And, you know, easy to open. Has that nice pop. And then check out the lockup on this thing. I mean, it is insane. Sorry, I bumped the camera there. But he does that kind of slight curve on there, kind of as the fail-safe lock. But that's like 20%, you know, 25% maybe, because the whole bar is on there. But you can see how much of the blade is left to still lock up on there. And every time, no matter how you open it. And then the other neat thing, I don't know if you can see it from here. It's going to be tough. I should have brought a flashlight. Maybe it's easier to see from this side. See the detent ball there? It's actually very far back. That little dot. Jeez, this thing is sharp. Holy crap. Oh, didn't cut myself. Gavco, don't worry, I didn't cut myself. But, yeah. I don't know if you guys can see it from this angle. Yeah, there you go. So seeing that back far left, that detent ball is super far back. Most blades, it's right here on the front. So I don't know what the purpose of that is, if it's, you know, if he thinks it's better lockup to have it farther back than right at the beginning. But you can actually see as you open it, it's almost, there's a double click right here. So I don't know if you could hear that. So right there, and then the full lockup. It's pretty cool. Like, you know, I haven't seen anything that's you know, it's that far, a detent ball that far back, but it gives you that double thing. So once you pass that second point here, that's when it just drops right in. And here's your detent. You know, great detent. And actually, I kind of want to show you guys this side more. It's weird to show the left-handed side more than the right-handed side, but that's where all the grinds are. Oh my gosh, we're at 10 minutes on this video. All right, well, look, this is the knife. It's awesome. It's one of 5 made in this line. His books are pretty much closed. You know, you're waiting on a 3 to 5 year wait list if you're on them, which I happen to be. But great quality stuff. The jimping all done here. Jimping here. And just some stats for you. You have the tan G10 scales. The blade is CPM 154. The liners are titanium. The pocket clip's titanium. The back spacer is carbon fiber. I mean, high quality stuff. And let's just do a quick cut test just so you can see. Jesse kind of prides himself on how sharp his knives are. And you'll just see this thing work through here. We'll actually pull this up a little bit more. Get some room to work here. But, I mean, look at this. Butter. And, that thing just flies through. Try to keep this in camera. And then even just the, the point on here. Let me get all that. Even the Tonto part. Look at that, even with just the Tonto right there, you know. That's some sharpness. And just to give you some dimensions on this, because try to get all this, oh my gosh, too much paper. Get all that out of here. Yeah, to give you some dimensions on this knife, because his site's good. I like his website, jarosKnives.com. I'll put it at the bottom. But it's mainly a gallery of everything, obviously, because he's a custom maker, and you can pretty much have whatever you want done to your knives that is in his realm, which is pretty much everything. So, but there's not a lot of specs as far as dimensions and stuff. So I'll give you the dimensions on this. I measured it out, and the blade is 3 1/4 inches long. The overall length is 7 1/4 inches. And just to give you an idea, we'll flip it this way, and you can see so, you know, right here is 3 1/4, and if you're going by Greg Medford standards, he counts the blade as far as the pivot, then that's 3 1/2 inches. So if you're talking about blade, 3 1/2 inches, but as far as like where this kind of ends here, 3 1/4, maybe 3 inches if you're talking about as far as blade usage area. And then you can see all the way across, you're looking at just over 7 1/4 inches. So it's a nice size knife, and to give you a little comparison, we'll leave this here. Here's my Browse Blades Blackout Edition. There we go. So this is a 3 1/2 inch blade. So you can see, you know, fairly close. It's just that 1/4 of an inch or so. And then Here's my Browse Blades reloader. And you can see obviously the handle makes up a lot, but they have that nice curve on them. So, but yeah, look at the grinds on there are great. So, try to keep this video under 16 minutes for you guys. I got a little excited, and I had to tell you a little story about the knife too, obviously. But so there's 3 other people that got the other 3 that were left out of the 4 that sold on that Sunday sale and got in on it. I'm not sure how many people actually tried for it. I'm sure a ton, because Jesse was saying his phone was going crazy and his his email was blowing up. But I have no idea what happened to that original one, because it said 5 and there's only 4 up on the site. So I mean, not up on the site, but only 4 that went on that Sunday sale. So I'm not sure what he did with that other one. And that 5th one, if it was the first one that was made, was the gray one. So it was gray G10. And I'm not sure exactly what the blade style was on that. But I'm very happy with this knife. Very excited to own one of his. I have the personal note from him. I'm on his books for a custom years down the line from here. But you can even see this mirror polish that's on the blade. So even though this is the no frills knife, I mean, that is just sexy right there. Mirror polished grind, the swedge, and then just how it drops down. And I'll give you guys the centering on this, just so you can see it. I mean, look at that. It fits perfectly in there. I know it was like, oh, well, here's a tip over here. Well, it's because it has that whole swedge on it. So if you look, it's actually perfectly centered. Fits right down the knife. Just to give you an idea as far as the thickness on here. We'll pop this one out again. So pretty close, This is a little bit thicker, and then down at the end of the blade obviously stays thicker too, even with that swedge. And then we'll see it against. And then the browse here is a little bit, this other browse is a little bit thicker, but nice as far as that goes. So, hope you guys like this. Hope this is a good in-depth video for to see his Fulltech line, and help more people post when they get his knives, so you can really see what else is going on with these things. But like I said, super smooth. So, Jarosz Knives, I'll put a link in the video to his website and to his YouTube channel, and then I'll also put a link to Jim Skelton's video that he did on the 75 model that he had too, just so you can see that's pretty good film of his quality and everything. So, thanks, I appreciate it, and good luck with everyone else getting their knives. All right, bye-bye.